This announcement. I would like to thank Sherry Houle of Eagle Healing for opening today with a prayer. Please note that once we are done with questions from the media, we will end with Sherry leading us to close the prayer. To get started, I'll invite the Minister of Advanced Education, Dimitrios Nicolaides, to the podium to share an exciting announcement.
Well, good morning. No, I think it's now afternoon, so good after 12 o'clock. So good afternoon, everyone. Roberta, thank you so much for the kind introduction. And Sherry, thank you as well for the blessing, for the smudging, and for the important acknowledgement of us being here on Treaty 6 territory today. I want to as well thank and acknowledge Tradewinds for success, for hosting us in this incredible facility, to the members of the organization for the time and effort that they contribute to this incredible organization, and as well to the many students, many standing behind me, for their efforts as well, which, as you may be able to see, I think may have had a hand in building some of these incredible homes that stand just behind me. So a thank you and acknowledgement to them as well for their efforts. Today in the province of Alberta, we're seeing some incredible signs of economic growth. In fact, we're seeing some signs of economic growth that we haven't seen since 2014. And we continue to lead the way across Canada with respect to economic and GDP growth. And I've shared in the past that this rapid and exciting pace of economic growth and prosperity brings as well its own set of challenges. And one of those is the increasing shortage of skilled labor and the challenge of ensuring that all Albertans are able to benefit from this increased prosperity. Our post-secondary system in Alberta needs to provide our students with the skills and knowledge they need to succeed in this fast-paced economy. In part, that is why we created a new 10-year strategic plan for post-secondary education. We've called that plan Alberta 2030, Building Skills for Jobs, with a single mission of working to ensure that every Albertan has the skills, knowledge, and competencies that they need to succeed. As part of this strategy, we invested $171 million over 3 years to create 10,000 new spaces at our post-secondary institutions in some of the most high-demand programs. Last Friday, I was fortunate to announce an investment of $15 million over 3 years to expand apprenticeship education in the province and create 300 new spaces in high-demand apprenticeship programs. Now, these investments will help improve student access. And student access is the first pillar of that 10-year strategy that I just mentioned. It is critical that all Albertans have the opportunity to pursue post-secondary education, and Alberta's government recognizes that different groups may face different challenges and different barriers to accessing higher education. These additional barriers are evident when we compare outcomes between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people in particular. A recent StatsCan report showed that 48% of Indigenous people between 25 to 64 years of age had a post-secondary qualification, which compares to 65% of the non-Indigenous population, a difference of 17%, a difference that we must continue to work on closing. It has been, though, very encouraging to see that work is being done at many of our post-secondary institutions to help better accommodate and better address the increased barriers faced by many Indigenous learners. On top of that, our many incredible First Nation colleges here in Alberta have given Indigenous learners the tools they need to begin to advance their education. And other organizations have stepped up, such as Trade Winds to Success, where we are today. They have worked to help provide Indigenous learners with valuable apprenticeship opportunities. Public post-secondary institutions, First Nations colleges, and partner organizations like Trade Winds have made tremendous strides in improving access for Indigenous learners. However, we must continue to take steps forward, and that is why I'm here today. And I'm very happy to announce another step forward. In particular, I'm happy to announce an investment of $5 million over 3 years specifically to support Indigenous learners in post-secondary education. Alberta's government is committed to improving access to higher education and at reducing the barriers many Indigenous learners face. The $5 million will be invested into 3 buckets, and I'll give you a very short overview of these 3 buckets so that I don't drone on. Because of course it's one of the most dangerous things that you can do, I think, is give a politician a microphone. So first and foremost, $3.25 million will be invested to expand programs and create more spaces for Indigenous learners at First Nation colleges and public post-secondary institutions. My team will be working to develop a framework for institutions to create proposals to expand specific programs. Many programs at public post-secondary institutions have admission targets for Indigenous learners, such as the Indigenous Nursing Initiative at the U of A and the U of C, or the Social Work Program at Mount Royal. By engaging with both First Nation colleges and public post-secondary institutions, we will be able to identify which programs will provide the greatest benefit to Indigenous learners, helping them gain the skills and knowledge they need to succeed. Secondly, we will also be investing $1 million into workforce development initiatives. We will engage with Indigenous relations, First Nation colleges, and other Indigenous partners to develop comprehensive plans to address Indigenous and government education, training, and employment opportunities. This could include supporting work-integrated learning placements, cultural relevance and flexibility in programming, two-way partnerships with the Alberta Transfer System, and other student funding supports. And lastly, and not least, we will be providing an investment of $750,000 over 3 years to Trade Winds, to Success Training Society, to empower Indigenous learners to develop the skills that they need to build rewarding careers. Trade Winds to Success has a proven record of providing quality apprenticeship opportunities. If you need more testament to that, again, just look at some of these incredible homes behind me. They've also built strong relationships with partners and stakeholders across the province to connect students to fulfilling careers in the construction trades. So in closing, we will work with and honor and follow the guidance of Indigenous peoples to ensure their success and prosperity in Alberta. We look forward to collaborating with leaders at First Nation colleges to further flesh out the details of this funding to ensure it can meet the needs of learners best. By aligning these new learning opportunities with the priorities of industry, we are building a skilled workforce to meet current and future demands, as well as creating new opportunities for Indigenous students. Thank you once again for having me here today, and my very best to the students behind me as well, and to Trade Winds to Success as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Nicolaides. We are so happy to see apprenticeship education and Indigenous learners being celebrated and recognized as an important contributor to Alberta's economic success. I would now like to invite Joan Isaac, Executive Director of Trade Winds to Success, to the podium.
Thank you, Roberta. this low enough? No? Okay, great. Since its beginning in 2005, Tradewinds has provided more than 4,000 Indigenous people with access to pre-apprenticeship training and support for entering the trades. We average about 240 students a year who start the program in both our Edmonton and Calgary location, and this contributes to the skilled labor pool in Alberta. The funding from Advanced Ed will help us provide more training opportunities for more Indigenous people, addressing Alberta's construction labor shortage. Tradewinds engages with employers who hire an apprentice, our graduates, resulting in a 90% plus employment rate for our students. Employers compete actually for our graduates. They come and give multiple opportunities for employment for our graduates because our graduates are motivated and they're ready for work. As quoted by one of our employer partners, Tradewinds graduates have the basic skills, the tools, safety certification, and the right attitude. They are ready for work from day one. Thank you again, Advanced Education, for supporting Tradewinds in our goal of helping Indigenous peoples achieve success in the skilled trades.
Thank you, Joan. These are exciting times for Alberta, and it's great to see the government of Alberta focusing on Alberta's economic growth and empowering students to succeed in their studies so they can develop the skills they need to move into great jobs. I would now like to invite Skyler Shaw to the podium. Skyler is a first-year apprentice carpenter who recently graduated from the residential construction program here at Tradewinds. Please come up, Skyler.
Tanse, hello. My name is Skyler Shaw. I'm 23 years old from Big Stone Cree Nation in Treaty 8 territory. Before coming to the Tradewinds program, I was lost and struggling to find something meaningful in my life. I was working in my reserve as a census numerator, and there I discovered my passion, which was my community, where we desperately need to make active change for the betterment of our people. With this newfound desire, I knew I wanted to get into the trades. I just wasn't sure where to start. I wasn't sure where or how to start until I came across the Tradewinds to Success website. The program truly exceeded all of my expectations I had set. The experience shifted my perspective to where I have more productive mindset, both in my home and work life. I have gained confidence through the knowledge and I've gained confidence through the knowledge I've learned both in the academic and shop portion of the program. Also, through the Finding Your Power Within with Sherry Houle, I was able to learn a lot about myself and my identity, which I feel is very important for First Nation peoples navigating through this life. Another vital thing I gained through this program is a new community here at Tradewinds. The incredible staff here are great role models who genuinely care about our success. And they show this by continuing support after we graduate from the program, which I am forever grateful for. Seeing fellow graduates in the field is also very empowering, and we also show support for one another. I'm excited for the success that the future of the program brings, and I'm proud to be a part of this amazing community. Hi, thank you.
Thank you so much, Skyler, and congratulations on your accomplishments and graduation. I wish you every success on the journey ahead. This concludes the formal portion of today's announcement. I would now like to invite Sam Blackett, the Minister's Press Secretary, to the podium to coordinate the media Q&A.
Thank you. And now we'll begin the media Q&A portion of the event. A reminder that we'll do one question and one follow-up. I see there's a few media in the room here today. There's a mic to your right if you'd like to go ask a question, or just shout it from your camera there.
Question for somebody from Tradewinds, just if you could just explain what are you going to do with that cash?
Well, we're going to have a big party. Actually, what we're going to do with that cash is we're going to support 40 students per year in our union training program. So the students will come in and they will do our foundational program, which is 6 weeks, and then they'll go into a hands-on training program. These 40 students will be working with our union training partners, one who we have over here with the pipe trades, 488, and that'll pay for their tuition and their tools, their safety equipment, and some safety certification. And then they'll be complete and ready to go to work after that.
And just to be clear, is that new spaces or is that already existing spaces?
We hope it's new spaces.
Thank
So,
yeah.
okay?
And I don't see anybody in the queue online, so if there's no more questions here in person, then that will conclude the Q&A portion of this announcement. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us.